Okay, so this is going to be a really quick video because another person's uploaded their options list, and I want to just attempt to save people some money on things that they don't need. I'm just going to run through the functional stuff in the options list for people to consider that I wish I'd have known. And I'm going to skip over everything that is just a cosmetic thing like mirrors or colors. The engine room fire suppression system, if you've got diesel, it's highly unlikely you're going to ever have an engine fire. The Fusion stereo, the holes will be cut for the Fusion stereo, and some cables are run in whether you pay for it or not. So that's something to consider. And if you don't pay for the Fusion stereo, they will just plug the holes with IP rated plastic covers. The Quantum Doppler 2 radar can be installed in Cape Town before your boat ships, if you've got time. The front and rear cameras are essentially useless. You'll never use them. They're just Raymarine cameras that don't really serve a purpose. Now this is where it gets more nitty gritty. So if you plan on doing lithium, the battery charger is worthless. You don't need that. You want to take shore power. Well, even that's debatable. Depends how much, if you want to involve your own electricians or not. But let's say you want to get as much done in the factory as possible. You take shore power. So you've got your plugs, you've got your sockets at the back, and some other infrastructure. Battery charger is useless if you're doing lithium. Your inverter battery charger is useless. Your upgrade to AGM batteries is useless because you're going to replace all this with lithium. The genset, I'm not even going to touch that. The weight of that thing, provision for genset. I wouldn't take the air conditioning. I also wouldn't take the provisioning for air conditioning because most of ours had to be replaced, but disregarding the quality of the install, it's old technology that drains a lot of power, and all of the ducting we had was all flexible ducting anyway, just crammed in spaces that anybody could cram any flexible ducting in. It wasn't like they put in special channels or special pathways for the aircon, which is what I was told at point of sale, that all of this provisioning goes in for the air conditioning systems that is just way too hard to run later. Well, firstly, we had to rerun it all anyway because it was all basically falling apart. And secondly, the channels are designed into the boat. They're not actually drilled through anywhere. So don't let them fool you with that. What I would do is get all of the electric winches, especially the side electric winch, because if you don't get the side electric winch, when you have a helm enclosure, you have to open the helm enclosure to put a handle in the winch. So I would suggest getting all 3 electric winches. Do not take any solar options. Whatever you do, don't take solar options from this list. If you want to get 4 solar panels at the back, do them through, get your 400 watt panels through Marcel in Cape Town, because that's the best value. And you can get 7 now, so you can get 3 at the front and 4 at the back. And you can factor this into your shipping time. So when the factory hands the boat over to Leopard, you can work out your time liaising with Leopard so that those can be done in Cape Town, because I can't imagine anywhere in the world doing it for a better price than them, and quality of work. Microwave, don't worry about it. The PowerPoint's there. Just buy your own microwave and it will be better, and probably better than this one. I wouldn't get a spectral water maker. The washer dryer, you want to just get your own washer dryer. It's very easy to run the power cable in for that washer dryer and install a PowerPoint. I mean, you've got to then do a through hull, which isn't hard either. But I mean, I guess the point that I'm making is with the washer dryer is I have a Miele washer, which is like 2,500 Australian, and the install for the washer dryer was about $500 Australian. So I've got a commercial spec washer, German made Miele, still at a high retail price, plus the install for 3,000 AUD, and they're charging you just under 6,000 AUD for a washer that is extremely questionable in quality, looking at the reviews that everybody has online for this particular splendid washer dryer. So I mean, all I'm saying is it cost me around $3,000 to have a Miele one installed, and they want $6,000 for one that is nowhere near as good as a 9 kilo Miele. So I'll leave that up to you. It's double the price for half the quality. That's one way of looking at it. One thing I will say is the refrigerator in the aft cockpit, ours didn't work properly, barely kept drinks cold, started rusting, and there is a gigantic cavern under the helm where you can turn it into a huge storage. I think we fit 2 people and a dog in there or something.
We did.
Just as a laugh. So I mean, you need to question whether you really want that 12-volt fridge when you could install fridges inside. Helmsman enclosure, for a lot less than that price, you can get one made in Cape Town before your boat ships, and it will have strata glass and it will be high quality. So I wouldn't take the Helmsman enclosure. Even if the Helmsman enclosure was quoted from Cape Town, because it was a while ago that mine was done and I got quotes, I would still take the anything you can get aftermarket, get done aftermarket, as other owners have said, because you can choose the material that it's made of. Don't take the Delta anchor. God, get anything, and that doesn't mean a Rockner, and they reckon it's $2,800. Like, you must be joking. I would take the 100 meters of anchor chain. Ours seems to be doing okay. My main point with this though is, if you're installing Victron or a lithium electrical system, you don't want to pay for AGM batteries. You don't want to pay for infrastructure you don't need. You don't want to pay for charging units. I think they've actually edited it since mine was done. Yeah, this inverter battery charger that's $8,900. You do not want to take that. You do not want to upgrade the AGM batteries for $3,500. Like, they're pretty big numbers that you don't need to spend money on. That I'm seeing people pay for, which is like insane when they're getting lithium put in. I mean, that's a big takeaway.